can start sharing now.
You're a heartbreaker, dream maker. Love taker, don't you mess around with me. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker. Love taker, don't you mess around with me. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker. Love taker, no one can tell us we're wrong. Clutching our hearts for so long. Both of us knowing.
Sunday evening live, and a little bit of a problem with some technical issues here, but here we are, and hopefully everybody can see us. And please share us on Facebook. If you're watching us on YouTube, share us there. Let's say hi to our
Subscribe
special
for links.
guests. Our special guests are Melissa and Jerry from both Panic and from Best Shot. Welcome aboard, guys.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Hey,
Mel, thanks for
welcome,
coming
everybody.
back. Jerry,
Hey,
welcome
hey.
here for the first time. So I'm going to tell you where everybody is. In the upper left, we have Tommy, one of our hosts. In the upper left. In the upper right, we got Lenny. All right. I'm in the center. Then I'm Joey. Down in the bottom, you can tell which one is Melissa. And of course, Jerry. And I go back with both of these guys a long time. And usually not sober.
Yeah, well, we all have issues.
Yeah, we do.
Welcome back, Mel. Lenny, nice to see you. Jerry, good to see you. Can't wait to talk to you guys about what the fuck is happening with you guys.
Yeah, it's been crazy, and on top of that, it's fucking hot as fuck here right now.
Oh my god.
It is. It's like a bull's taint right now. It is
I mean, it is.
disgustingly moist and hot.
Wow.
It's terrible.
I went outside and just no.
Yeah, man. I took a shower just before the show, and I'm like dripping sweat. This is ridiculous. There is nothing
Because you
attractive
chose
about
to
this.
wear pants today. You shouldn't
I
have.
did wear pants.
You
I
fucked
did.
up.
I usually don't. I couldn't hear like, are you playing Anthrax anymore?
I was tired. I was tired to say, hey, dude, you know Indians?
Yeah. So Mel is the lead singer in Panic and in Best Shot. Best Shot is a Benatar and Geraldo tribute. And we lost Lenny for a second, and now Mel has switched her positions. Mel, you've been
Not Lenny,
upgraded.
people. Lenny
You've
has not.
upgraded. You're in the upper right now.
Ah, shoot.
So now this happens every
Exactly.
week now. This is kind of like musical squares here, where you kind of start to move it around. But Mel, you found your niche with this Benatar thing. It sounds great. You guys
Yeah.
sound
Thank
really
you.
good.
It's awesome.
And you can't get rid of Jerry no matter what you do. He's following you around in different bands now, right? I had him for a while.
Actually,
yeah, I know.
I was just reminded that Joey is the reason why I'm in Panic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, in 2012, Joey was playing with Mark and Nick, the drummer and the bass player for Panic, and they were doing like a 4-piece rock thing with a guy named Mike.
Yeah.
And Joey, being the gig whore that he is, he's in like 9.
Yeah. I was doing the
The Omnipop.
the
thing.
Omnipop thing. I was in 2 Omnipop bands at the same time, and it was just too
Right.
much, man.
So he calls me up and he goes, "Hey, I got a gig out in Yaphank or something. It's just like rock stuff. Do you want to cover it for me?" And I said, "I don't know. Send me a set list." And he sent me a set list, and I'm like, "Yeah, right." Never met the guys, never spoke to them, nothing, no texting. He sent me an address. I show up. I'm like, "Hey, I'm Joey's friend." I set up my amp. It's a 4-piece. We're playing rock, whatever. I play the tunes, and I think Melissa at the time was just towards the end of her self-imposed maternity leave.
Yeah.
So,
Guys, that had nothing to do with children. It just
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm to myself.
meaning that
A little break.
she was in Panic for like 20 years. and
Well,
she took a,
now is 20 years, right?
right. She took a couple of years off.
No, she's only 23, so.
Right.
Yeah, what are you saying here, Jerry?
Yeah.
You're letting it out. You're letting it out.
She took a couple of years off to do the baby thing, and I didn't know this, but just around that time, she just was starting to creep back into the music scene, and they were doing something, or they were thinking about doing something. So we were taking a break, and I was going through some personal things at the time. So I'm like, I don't know these guys, and I'm really, believe it or not, I'm kind of a quiet guy. So I'm in the corner, I'm minding my own business, and like the three of them come around me, Mark, Nick, and Mike, and they're like, "Can you play disco?" And I'm like, yeah, sure. And like, "Can you play dance?" And I said, yeah. And then Mark walks away and he calls up Melissa, and then that's it. I came down for the, came down
Yeah.
and
The only thing I'm
later.
gonna correct you on one thing on that. We were in the bus when we talked about it. I didn't even call you on the
Oh, we
phone.
were?
We were going.
Okay.
We were. If those that don't know, and you probably don't, me and Jerry were in, or are in, if we ever decide to gig again, November Rain, the Guns N' Roses tribute. So we actually played together. I remember we were in our usual seats. Jerry's in the seat in the window, usually sleeping, and I always would send pictures to Mel. But I remember turning into you and saying, "Hey, can you help me cover a gig? Because I got a call from them asking to help with a gig." And I know I played it. I was up in Boston the night before. I had 2 nights up in Boston, and that was a Sunday gig. And I said, man, I need help. I'm going to be shot for that gig." And you did.
8 fans.
Yeah. I remember you.
And he ended up, Joey ended up coming down for the second set, and we all jammed. So he only really did coverage for the first set. But
well, that was the thing. How many times did I like cover and play in that band? It was so funny because how many gigs people thought I was in the band, and I was never an official member. It was just always like, Joey's just here, he's playing.
Honorary member.
Yeah. So
actually, I remember my first gig with Panic. Nick got engaged. So
really?
Wow. At Black Chicks. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how Panic started with me, at least.
Yeah. Very cool. So anyway, you guys are one of the few bands fortunate enough to actually start getting some gigs and coming back and doing some work. I mean, you guys were very busy, you always have been. Which is great. You got a perfect niche for it, you know.
Yeah.
You got a nice set list, you know. It's you don't do the Omnipop crowd. You get the crowd that's just a little bit past that, and there's a lot of those people, man. You know, these are the ones that have had their babies. You know, they've had their babies. Their babies are in their teens or older, or in college, or moved out, or you know. And there's a lot of these people love to go out and party, and you guys have found the perfect niche for that. You know, you cater to them, and it works out great. And you guys are starting to play out again. How's that going?
You want to say anything, Jerry?
Go ahead. You're the band mom.
No, it's actually going well. We're gonna, like I said before, we're gonna take them as they come, I guess, because it might not be, for too long. So we're gonna take advantage of the outdoor shows into the fall, hopefully. But it is going well. Each venue has its own set of rules, but they're pretty much the same. Sitting down, no mask. Once you're up, wearing a mask, whether you go into the bathroom or dancing. Some places it's prohibited, so it's a little confusing,
Right.
But really going good because, like you said, those people were always going out and they still want to go out. So they're dying for something to do, and those people love live music, thankfully.
Yeah.
So, but I think it might only be for the outdoor stuff, even pushing it into October with Fall Fest, and then once it comes to winter and you have that reduced capacity inside, I don't know how many businesses will take the chance to have a band. Maybe an acoustic act where you're not taking up too much room, but not a band because, unless something changes,
Yeah, I was talking to our friend Mike Loria at
Rudy's
in Patchogue. I went down there last week for dinner. I like to support him. He's been open. He's always been super cool to us. In fact, that was the first gig I did with you, Mel. I think was there. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him, and they have to spread the tables out so much.
Yeah.
They've had a band in there every Friday and Saturday and even on Sundays for years.
Yeah.
They treat the bands very well. There's never an argument. You know, very good to the bands. I mean, it's not a stage per se, but there's a nice,
Right.
you know, they give you a nice little area. And he's like, yeah, I can't even have a band in here because you got
Yeah.
half the capacity. We're not allowed to go. You're not allowed to stand next to the bar, right?
Well, right. You can't hang around.
You can't hang
So,
around. So, you know,
Can't have a beer anymore. So
yeah. So, and what are you gonna do? You got to take up, you know, basically a table space or two for the band,
Right.
and you know, there's not that many tables, you know.
yeah.
So,
I
so
know,
I feel
it's not
sorry for those owners, and especially Mike is such a good guy.
Yeah. And the smaller the venue, the worse it is for them, you know, is
Yeah.
what they can have, you know,
Absolutely.
what's it worth it to them, you know? I don't blame them so much because it's a
Yeah.
business, you know?
Right. So you guys been playing? What's that? Is it the North Fork? What is that place you've been
So
playing?
we did the North Fork Roadhouse outside
Okay.
in Mattuck. Yep. We did that last Sunday. Hot as ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
went
was
well.
brutal.
That
yeah.
was so brutal. We were exhausted. I think Jerry said he couldn't walk the next day.
I was shot, man. I was
Did that have
shocked.
anything to do with the playing or anything, or how did that come about?
It's a long story. It was between sets, and you know,
Playing in the heat. Oh, it was exhausting. Plus, it was like
And you had to have the masks on, right?
yeah.
Well, just a mask while we set up and everything. But once we're playing, we're allowed to remove our masks.
Oh,
So
thank God.
How
Yeah.
far back is How far back are the people at that point? Then?
they are far back because they had the crates in front of us and they had
Okay.
the table. So you had at least 6 feet where nobody was up in your grill or anything like that.
Wow.
So I know.
Yeah. Trying to find the link for us here.
And we did a Michi's outside the restaurant in Mount Sinai.
And how is that? Because I know that's like the old brown colonial-looking building out there in
Right.
Rockford, I think.
Well, they
yeah.
did a nice job outside in the back. So
Oh, okay, so there's a back.
gravel. Yes, now there's a back gravel, socially distanced tables. It's really nice.
that was another hot SOB, man.
Oh man, we had so humid gig. That's all we've had. Jerry's
Yeah.
strings are breaking all over the place.
Yeah, it's
Man, it's
brutal out.
it's brutal guitar weather.
Yes.
Yeah, you take that thing out of an air-conditioned house and you bring that out there, it's just gonna go. You know what? Fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I am not gonna work. It's gonna.
Right.
It's
Nothing
like that.
staying in tune.
It's like that Steve Vai Flexible album.
It is
The neck,
absolutely
Yes.
flexible out.
the neck is just
Absolutely.
flopping away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the strings are going. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go this way, and the other one's going. I'm going that way.
Yeah.
I popped a string the last gig. I usually get 3 or 4 gigs out of a set, and then I change them before they pop. And
Yeah.
I don't think I popped a string in 4 years, and the heat was just.
Oh, it was brutal.
Oh,
All right,
really
before we
horrible,
deviate,
right?
are you using? Is your bridge floating, or you got a pin?
No, it's. I'll show it when we do.
All right,
the-
we'll talk about that. Sorry, man. I'm jumping ahead. I can't wait. I'm so
Yeah.
So
excited.
excited about the gear. Look at him.
Oh, forget it.
No, I love talking to you, Mel. Where's the guitars? Where's
Yeah.
the guitar?
You're like, Mel, really? Get off the screen.
Complete gear horse here.
You've also done the Wild Heart gigs too?
Yes, the Wild Heart gig, that's my acoustic gig that I do with John Mistretta, who plays guitar. So we've done just the Garden Grill and the Orr House in Patchogue. Just 2
Okay.
places. Yeah.
Now
That works well.
that
'cause
was
it's
that
just
was
2
that was the whorehouse in Patchogue.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. They actually will let you say that it's a whorehouse. That's nice.
Yeah. But those are good too. And like you said, nobody's dancing or anything. I think the other bummer is a lot of the restaurants now, they want to get people in and out so they can make some money. So it's like 90-minute, see you later. So like I said, there's no more hanging around. There's no more bellying up to a bar and having a beer and wings. And
I know.
And then, and then when you're performing, when you're performing, they can't even come close up and dance in front of you.
Right.
And you can't feed off that energy.
right. Then there's issues with that where people, you're drinking, they're doing it anyway, and then you're asking them not to, and then, people aren't happy about it,
Yeah, that you know,
Understandably so.
challenge. It's a huge challenge, but it's great to hear you guys are out there, working on it at least,
Yeah.
and trying.
We're trying to keep the venue open, really, because whether we agree with anything or not, those are the rules. You know what I mean? So we're just doing it, follow the rules to keep the venue open. That maybe we'll play a little bit, here
Right.
and there, because
Right.
they could just
Yeah.
come and lay the hammer down and shut us right down.
Yeah.
Right. Right. You know, much as everybody wants live music, you know, the venue wants to make their money too.
Yeah, right.
So you know, kudos to them for really trying to
Taking a chance,
try
right.
and keep it normal as
Mhm.
best they can. You know, bring one of their favorite bands in, like you guys, and really hope for the best. So,
Well, at the end of the day, we just need everybody to cooperate with us because
Yes.
we don't want to hurt the venues.
Right.
We want to continue to play. And if the venues get in trouble, we don't want it to be because of one of our people. So we really try to, I mean, we don't want the venues to get in trouble for any reason, but we certainly don't want it to be because we have a rogue person who, you know, just, whether you agree with it or not, and that's not a topic for today, but whether you agree with it or not, or whether you think it's effective or not, that's the way it is right now. And we're adults and we just have to kind of,
Yeah, it's the new norm.
do what we need to do to get past this.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
you know, whether it works or not, I don't think it can hurt to keep it on. It looks a little silly, but I don't know. It is what it is. You know, we just got to try to keep level-headed about all of this. That's all.
Yeah, and in the long run, you know, hopefully, most likely things will get better. It will just keep the flow going.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you can do.
Yep.
right, because you know, we don't know what September's going to bring once it starts to get cooler. You know,
Right.
it would be great for things to move in a, you know, continue to move in a forward direction, but it's still, you know, a lot of challenges. But again, you guys are up there. You guys are playing. You're making people happy, and we know you guys make people happy. So
Oh,
I think
I just feel bad about places like 89 North. I
yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
how they're surviving. I feel so horrible for
Yeah.
I feel so horrible for Dan and Dave and everybody. It's just I
they're
cannot.
the nicest. They are the nicest people, you know, for gigs I've done there, and I know you
Yeah.
guys all attest to
They're
it.
both gentlemen. They're both
Yeah.
businessmen, but they're both gentlemen as well. It's hard to be both. You know, they're
Yeah.
nice guys, but they're businessmen at the end of the day, and we get it. But you know, I just say 89 North because I'm the closest to them as far as big venues. I don't know how these people are, you know, sustaining the rents and the taxes and then even when they come back. Again, 89 North and everybody else, you know, Vestigios, all the places that we play, even when they come back, it's going to be like, you know, a teaspoon of water when you're really, really thirsty. It's just going to start trickling in. It's not going to be like, okay, we're ready to go and we're full force, you know? So
Right.
we don't know what the landscape's going to look like in 2021. I guess that's
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables as far as that goes, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we can talk about the fact that, you know, COVID is real and out there and causing serious issues. You know, we've done everything we can in New York to try and get where we are right now,
Right.
and I think, you know, continuing with the venues the way they are is challenging, but it's, you know, there's
Might be necessary.
yeah, it's necessary. It's freaking horrific, but
Yeah.
you know, we all
I
want to
think-
be out live.
Yeah, I think we've gotten past, you know, without jinxing ourselves, I think we've gotten past the hill. I think we've gotten past. We just need to buckle down and kind of
Stay
keep
past
going.
the hill.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We gotta keep it moving.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
cool. So playing, trying to do a little bit, trying to
Yeah.
get stuff going.
The bummer for us actually was the tribute because we were just starting to get off the ground.
Yeah, and there's no
we
no
were-
small sets for that. You got to
We
do
were
it.
booked through an agency. We had some really cool upcoming gigs. We were booked at Foxwood. We were booked at Glen Falls Park Theater. And
Oh,
all
wow.
the theaters and all the Foxwood is closed. So not closed, sorry. Foxwood is open, just no entertainment.
Yeah.
And you just had to
right.
watch every weekend, every show just get canceled.
Yes, just canceled away. And then the Glen Falls, we thought would happen because upstate New York was fairly open, but it was a theater and they were just like, they weren't going to do it at a reduced capacity and be able to pay the band, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was a 5-hour ride. So we were like, yeah, no. But we just got a taste. We played the Hard Rock in Atlantic City, February 22nd. And then what was it? 3 or 4 weeks later, it was
Yep.
shut down, you know?
Right.
So that was crazy. Like at least you guys in November Rain, you've had all those, you know, the Mohegan
Yeah,
Sun
well,
gigs.
Some of them we want to forget, but we had a
You
handful.
had a lot of good gigs though. Yeah.
We had some nice ones.
Yeah, we did. It seems like I missed a few of them when I first started. I've been in that band for 7 years, but
That's right.
Can't believe it's been that long. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should show a clip of that later.
Yeah, I will. Okay,
good.
You guys can't see any of this stuff unless you're watching up on.
I know, we got to watch
Facebook.
it. And a lot of people said they're behind a little bit.
Yes, we are a few minutes behind. Oh, there's always a delay. You know, I got to.
I don't know why Tom Fetzer said
watch.
knock on wood, Jerry. Knock on wood, Jerry.
I don't know.
I don't know. March 13th, the end. And then Len, you're in the beaver shoot spot.
What?
Beaver shot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So let me. We got a whole bunch of people.
I think Melissa's too much White Claw.
Tom, it was misspelled, Tom.
There we go. Ed Chin says hi. James Rock says
Look,
hi.
I'm going to say, Tom, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
COVID.
Ed Chin says, Lenny, you don't answer your phone. Ed, by the way, fuck you, Ed Chin.
Oh.
Welcome, Ed.
Yeah.
Hello, Edward.
A few
Jim
people are
Bernardo's
on.
here. You got a lot of people on today.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to actually start catching up to everybody. And by the way, hi, Leah. I see you're on, too. I haven't seen you in a long time. Worked with her. So
James,
what gigs do you have coming up?
James,
You want to plug a couple of gigs while we're talking about your upcoming gigs. So plug those,
sure.
and then we'll continue.
All
our
right.
discussion.
Yeah, so for Panic, we have August 15th at Amici's at 7 o'clock. That's outside. You do reservations only.
Mhm.
And August 29th is a Saturday. We're at Resigio's out on the patio, and that's also reservations are encouraged. And same thing, limited capacity, so call and make those
Right.
reservations. That's
Yeah.
it for Panic for the month, you know?
Right.
That's all
So
we got.
I haven't been out to one of the live gigs, believe it or not.
Oh.
I've not been out to a live gig. People are still on. Is there a dance floor? Are they?
Yeah,
dancing
well, at
or something?
Amici's, they were allowing the dancing with masks. So, and some people were getting up and doing it. And they were distanced a little bit, not
Okay.
too, but most of them were dancing with someone they were with. So,
Right.
but they had the mask on. That was necessary. If you're up out of your seat, mask has to be on.
Okay.
You know, back in the early '90s, I went to some parties where we wore masks and danced.
Masquerade.
Completely different, sir.
Still not wearing pants.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Melissa, I wanted to ask you, what led you to wanting to do the Pat Benatar tribute?
Well, I always wanted to do a tribute, a little something different too than Panic, because I love Panic. Been my only band for almost 19, 20 years, really, since 2000. So yes, 20 years. I guess and the tribute thing was taking off even more so recently, where everybody seemed to be doing a tribute thing. And then it was actually Bob Blickweed who comes and he helps us out. He does a lot of bookings. He came to 89 North where Panic had performed Heartbreaker. And he said, why are you guys not doing a Pat Benatar tribute? You know?
Right.
And so it kind of
wow.
just planted the seed. And then Jerry always wanting to do more rock stuff, rightfully so. And we just said, let's do it. And actually we had our lineup was pretty much Panic with a keyboard player. And then Mark and Nick just didn't really want to do it anymore. And that was fine. And so Jerry grabbed Rob from November Rain. And we got Paul Vassa, who is awesome, also bass player, plays Huey Lewis tribute, also Scorpions tribute.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he was in Grimjack also.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Everybody was in Grimjack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's a
right.
good friend.
That's true.
Tommy's, I think, right?
Yeah. So
Tommy's a good friend of yours, I think, right?
Wait, yikes!
Oh, and
And
the keyboard player is Jeff Camp. He's from
Yes.
what band is he from?
Oh, so he's in the Bay Tenders, also White Room. They do obviously Eric Clapton
Right.
and all that stuff, but they're
Oh, neat.
great. If you ever get a chance to check them out, and he is great on the
Phenomenal keyboard
Phenomenal.
player. We were doing, when we did this band, Melissa wanted to do it right. And when you're doing a tribute, you have to do it right. So
Yeah.
she, I think we started it in February or March of last year.
right.
And we kind of figured the summer, there's nothing going on. And we said, let's just book a gig in the fall. So we have a target date. and let's take our time and really just work the songs out, work the show out. You know, if there's any kind of costumes or like, we just didn't want to rush it. And everybody's got jobs and everybody's got lives, so we didn't want to say, okay, 2-3 months and we're out on the road, or whatever you want to say, you know. So we booked
89
November at 8. We booked a gig in November for 89 North, figuring it was going to be enough time, and it was. But I mean, you always want that little extra week. But
it was to the wire.
We were doing this song, "Promises in the Dark," and if you know the song, it starts off with just like an F chord on a piano, and it's basically just a whole note. And then there's an arpeggiation of a clean guitar with a chorus. And we started to play it, and Jeff and Melissa just sounded so awesome together. I actually stopped. I said, I'm not playing this intro. I mean, and you know, maybe we'll try to find a recording of it somewhere and post it. But the way Jeff plays it and the way she sings it, actually the chorus guitar is actually taken away from how awesome they sound together. So I just said, you know what? I'm not even going to play the intro, which actually works out a little better because I can get ready to come in on the hard, you know, distorted part. But
right, you're a little stronger dynamic.
Yeah, the beginning of that song is just, I mean, every song she sings is awesome. She could sing the phone book, but the beginning of that song is just, I actually said to them, I go, I know that we're supposed to do like the record, and I know there's supposed to be a chorus guitar, clean chorus. First of all, no one's going to notice that the guitar is not playing there because no one's going to notice that. But I said, I'm just going to screw this intro up. So I'm just going to, and it was amazing. So we really took the time to do it right. And then the finished product was great. I mean, if you guys go on the website, she spent a lot of time on the costumes and professional photographs, and we did the video at EKO. I mean,
that was great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys were
perfect.
you were all in. It was. You guys did the whole package. You guys were ready.
Nuts. You know, like there was once we played AC, or actually I back up. Once we played 89 North, I can honestly say we left nothing on the table. We left nothing that we didn't leave that gig to say we should have done this, we should have done that.
Right.
I mean, the only thing that we've actually added or changed since then is some banners that say, you know, best shot, but we just didn't have enough time.
Some extra songs.
We were thinking about doing so much in the videos and the pictures and the audios and the practice, and then we get to the show and we're like, wow, like we don't even have a banner, you know. So that was the only thing that the last box to check was some stage props or something, but that was it. I mean, once we spent like a good 6-8 months on it, and once we did it, it was done. I mean, we put that much time into it, and you know, she kills it. So
shout out to 89 though, because they did give us that gig. Like, just, you know, emailed Dan. He had the relationship with us from Panic, and I said, Dan, can we please have a date? And we'd love a Saturday in November, and he made it happen. You know.
I think that was even before the first rehearsal. He gave us a date.
Yeah, so we had that date as a goal. You know what I mean? So that was what was good. We knew that was something.
If I remember correctly, they had to stop letting people in.
Yes.
I mean, we
were a fire hazard, which could not happen now.
No, definitely not.
No.
Yeah. But
the problem is now the fire hazard is 30 people.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
And half of that staff.
Exactly. So, but otherwise, great gig, great first gig anyway. Yeah.
I thought, I mean, aside from the fact that I love to play Pat Benatar, and aside from the fact that, you know, Melissa's a great singer and she killed it, I really thought, you know, she really needs something for herself, like her project, and I was just happy to be a part of it, you know, like, so I just kind of let it go, like, it was her thing, you know, like I would give my suggestions, I would give my opinion, but at the end of the day, she made all the decisions because it's her project, you know, and I mean, we're all in the project, don't get me wrong, but she's the front person, she's the Benatar person, she's the focal point, and she's got to be comfortable with everything that's happening, visually and audio-wise and video-wise. So, you know, like I said, we all had opinion, and she, you know, some things, some ideas were shot down, some ideas were changed, or
I can't, Jerry.
What am I saying?
No, Jerry, don't worry, you're not getting fired tonight. Shit.
No, your ideas. Remember you were saying some ideas.
Believe me, she took out the band leader cock a few times.
Look, the only disappointment I've seen in this whole thing is, Jerry, you don't have an eagle, and that's upsetting me. You know, the BC Rich
No.
Eagle, like Neil. And to me, it's
Yeah,
not,
Neil is.
it's not really realistic.
Neil's
to
stepping
get
in front of
that,
Pat a lot of times.
Right.
So you gotta go out and get one now. You get one
Yeah.
of those nice slimy green ones like he likes. So
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Jerry does a great job.
yeah, it's great.
He's
It's a
happy.
great- I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm glad we at least got 2 gigs under our belt because it would have sucked if we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, you know, we're always talking about gear. So Jerry, tell us. I know that, you know, having worked with you with other stuff, you use different gear for different gigs. So
Yes.
come
So
on, man,
actually,
give us a rundown on this one.
yeah. What's the Pat?
Give us the rig
Yeah.
rundown
Yeah, the
for
Benatar.
for
And how many
Alright.
guitars do you own?
you don't
too
wanna-
many. So while we're
Yeah.
on the Pat Benatar, I'm going to show you my main Pat Benatar guitar. Hold on.
Okay.
It's going to be a while till he gets back, guys.
Sorry, I'll just play.
He's got to start unpacking one.
All right. So
There you
this is the
Ooh.
PRS Santana.
Back it
Yeah.
up a little. Back it up.
Let me get some light. Hold on.
Yeah. Ah, there we go.
All right. So
Oh,
that's the
nice.
PRS Santana. And for you, Tom, this is the Floyd Rose I was telling you about.
Oh, I can't believe so. It was easy for that guy for him to put that in because
Right, so if you look, You know. Look
that's
at the-
beautiful though, man. It's the bound neck and everything on that.
Yeah.
thing.
So this is, you know,
super nice.
the
Now,
string.
that's the Santana guitar?
Yeah, it's the PRS Santana guitar.
And now, as you were telling us off the air, I just want everyone out there to hear it. You have somebody that does all your guitar work.
Well, the big heavy stuff, supposedly, well, not supposedly, but Gary Brower from California is the
Yep.
guitar tech
Yeah.
for Neil Schon and Steve Vai and
Yeah.
Joe
Actually,
Satriani. and all
actually, if
those
you're a
guys.
guitar player, you probably already know the name.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I was, and like I said before we went on, I originally had one of these put on my Black Les Paul, which is the Panic guitar.
Right.
He
And
did your gold top too, didn't he?
and the gold top too, and another blue Les Paul. I had that done.
Yeah.
So I'm a Floyd Rose guy. So
Yeah.
I love Les Pauls. So I mean, you can't even tell where he cut in. It's just
No, that sits in there.
Wow.
That sits in there beautiful.
Yeah, it
It
really
does.
does.
So what?
And,
Now,
when
is
I
that
show you-
recessed?
No, it's just flat on top of the body.
Okay.
But when I show you the Les Paul, you can't even, because if you, Tommy, if you look at your Les Paul, you don't have a tailpiece. You don't have a bridge. You have a Floyd, right?
Yeah, this one
But
is,
on the regular tailpiece, you have
Yeah.
the studs for the
Right.
tailpiece, and then the studs for the bridge. When you put the Floyd Rose on it, it's actually further up from the tailpiece, so that he's got to put blocks of wood.
so he filled yours in. He filled in. the
Yeah.
tailpiece?
So what he did was
Oh,
he
man.
put ebony slugs.
Yeah,
I'll show it to you. Hold on.
yeah.
Wow.
Jerry, James Rocks is teasing you. He said
He
smile.
says smile. Yeah.
There's no fucking smiling. All right.
No fucking
That's it,
smiling
Rob.
here. Only cursing. Only cursing.
Tom Fetzer loves the cursing.
Yeah. Of course.
He
It's
thinks it's hysterical.
the Admiral, right?
Yeah, he thinks it's hysterical.
Well, we're 15-year-olds. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
So here is the Panic guitar. It's the black.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So if you look,
You got the detuner on there?
yeah, I got the detuner. So if you look right about here,
Yeah,
where the tailpiece would be,
yeah.
and he took it off, so there were 2 big holes here, and he just plugged it up with ebony, and you can't even tell it.
No, that's beautiful. Now that's a
Wow.
full thick Les Paul.
This
Yeah.
is a
Yeah, that's a full one. Okay, it's not a
this is
light or anything.
2009 Les Paul Custom, full thick. So, and this is the Panic guitar. So,
Right.
Good
What,
Gorgeous.
what pickups are you using?
interesting you picked that up on.
Yeah,
No,
nothing
he's
goes
got
by
a
You're
good
that.
not
eye.
done yet.
Those are Seymour Duncan Invaders.
Yeah, I thought they were. You had an Invader even in the rhythm position. Good God, what are you trying to
So
do?
these are
Invaders.
quite possibly the hottest pickups out there other than the X2N, which is
I had
probably-
X2Ns for
Right.
years.
Yeah.
That picture will be
I
posted
love
later.
X2Ns.
So these are really, really high gain pickups. And I'm going to give away one of my not so secrets. What I have is, instead of a coil tap, I have a parallel series.
Okay.
So what you do is, when you do parallel series, you're not making it a single coil. You're just cutting out some bass and some treble, and you're cutting out some bass and some mid, actually.
Yeah.
And then what you do when you do a coil tap, when you do a parallel series, you can play clean with, and even distortion without the hum, because you're still hum canceling.
Right.
So even though these are super hot pickups, they're super hot.
They're
when
hot.
when I do a parallel series, it's basically the same ohms as a medium output single coil.
Right.
So that's
Very
why
cool. And
when
it-
I use this for Panic, I play a lot of disco, I play a lot of clean stuff, and if somebody looks at my guitar and they're like, wow, not only is he playing a Les Paul, but he's playing
Invaders.
he's got Invaders in there. How is he playing, Bee Gees with Invaders? And when you do the parallel series,
Yeah.
it cleans it up a lot.
I
Very-
actually remember that was Jerry. The first time I saw you, you were playing with Mike with Rebecca, I think.
Oof. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
That was a good
And,
time
and I
ago.
remember I went up to talk to you because I was probably hammered. I think was that at the Red River Inn? It was
Yes.
called something else then, right? Right?
Yes.
I don't remember what it's called. But I remember going up and talk to you because he had that Soldano. Is
Yes.
it the same one I
I
think.
had a
is behind you?
Soldano combo.
Yeah,
Yes.
the combo,
And
right? It was a purple one, right?
Blue.
Blue. Okay.
And he runs up to me and he goes, holy shit, you have a Soldano? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I've never actually seen one in person.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you want to play? And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right, whatever, I
But
don't care.
I remember that night you were talking about the parallel because I was
Yes.
asking you about how you got those cleans. Your fucking cleans are really good, and you
Right.
told me about that. And don't you know, all my Les Pauls here do
Right.
the same thing now. You got me
Right.
turned on to that. The only thing different is I use the DiMarzio 36s in all of them.
Right.
But I use that. I use the parallel series switch. I love it.
Well, part of the reason why I'm using the super high output pickups is because I really don't play that loud. I know Melissa's probably going to say I do, but comparatively
he's lying.
speaking,
Hold
they're like,
on,
he's
hold
lying.
on.
He's a liar.
so, I'm not going to throw anybody. I'm not going to. This is by no means a critique, but there's a great band out there called Billboard. Well, they're not called Billboard.
Now there's 70s
No,
rock
70s
parade.
rock parade, right?
Yeah.
Right. And Rodney, the guitar player, great
Yeah.
guitar player.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all know him. He was a Grimjack guy too.
Yep.
Are you kidding?
No,
What the hell, this band?
it's
Oh,
everybody in the
Rodney-
island.
It's a
Rodney-
revolving door.
Rodney and I went to high school together.
Oh, really?
So he's a great guitar player, great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
He's got great tone, but the way he gets the tone, obviously, is that he gets a lot of power amp distortion, not necessarily preamp distortion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he's got such a great, full, thick sound, and it sounds very organic because he plays with the volume way up, with the preamp not as high up as it usually has to go.
Right.
Most of the time when I'm playing as low as I need to play, in order to get the gain that I wanted, I would have to put the preamp level higher. What that does is that on certain amps, it gives you a little bit of a buzz, or it gives you sometimes an unpleasant kind of high end kind of
Yep.
buzzy. So
Absolutely.
with the Seymour Duncan Invaders, they are so hot that I keep my preamp gain actually at least 3 notches lower. So I'm down, well, no, I'm maybe 2 notches lower. If I usually am gain at 7 or preamp gain 7 or 8, I'm like at 4 or 5.
Cool.
So I can still get the same gain response, but without getting the fizz on the preamp. Now, with a band like November Rain, I play through a Soldano, and I have Lawler Imperial pickups, which are more PAF. They're very low wound pickups. But with November Rain, I'm playing so freaking loud. I mean, I have 100-watt Soldano on 4.5. That is really loud. So when I'm playing that loud, I don't need such high pickups. If I plugged in the Invader to that Soldano and put it on 4, it would just be one big feedback and squeal. But
Oh yeah.
playing that
Cut
low,
your
I
heads
need,
off.
yeah, playing that low, I need to have high output pickups so I can get the distortion at a lower volume.
Yeah.
And since I have to play clean, I need an amp with a lot of headroom. So
You
anything
need
less
headroom for that. Yeah.
right, anything
Yep.
less than 35 or 50 watts is not going to cut it on the clean room. On the clean headroom, even if you're micing it, you need
Yeah.
a lot of clean headroom. So
Well, I know Rodney
Well,
likes
this is glazing over.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Rodney,
fine. I'm cracking
you know-
up because Tom Fetzer said preamp, power amp. Oh God, I feel like Rush just came on.
oh,
Wow.
boy.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, I want to say hi. Donnie and Kelly are on watching too. So
Awesome. Oh
Tom
yeah.
and Kelly.
Wallers.
Awesome.
So good
Um,
to have them on.
Yeah.
And Ed
Absolutely.
Shin was like, awesome.
Yeah, and Jerry, I just put some video up of you and you and me in November Rain. So this
Oh,
video,
put it up. Where is it?
you'll see it in a second. If
It's
you're watching
coming.
on Facebook, you'll see it.
That's
you
great.
can't see it on
See some of
Zoom.
Jerry
We
in
use
November Rain.
Zoom, so you guys don't really see what's going on the screen. But
Okay.
yeah, I put some. That was when we were up in Mohegan Sun, and that's Jerry
Oh,
as
cool.
Slash there. He had longer hair just a year ago, so.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
How do I see that? I can't see it.
If you watch on Facebook, if you go to
Go on your
Musings Ransom
phone on
Guitars, it's
Facebook
there.
and go to Musings.
Yeah.
That. Well,
Yeah,
that's
you'll
where
see it
I'm at
live.
now.
Just click on it live. It'll look like it's in the beginning, but it'll take you right into the live stream.
I know it's
That's-
sad. You had to hang up your top hat for a few
Yeah,
months.
and we
Yeah.
got a few questions coming on here and there, and yes, Ed Grimjack does have a new drummer. Well, I'll talk about that a little bit later. Thank you. But
All right, so far we've
that's me
established
as Izzy,
that-
and that's Jerry as Slash in that
That's
video.
so awesome.
Yeah. So
And that's Steve now that is in the Unchained band.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Let's
Ew.
get out of that. All right. So
Where were we?
yeah. So you guys have anything set up for the Benatar thing right now, or no?
No, like I said, those
Nothing,
two
yeah,
shows got canceled in
that's-
July.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do.
The agent said he'll be in touch. I mean, we have something on the calendar for November as an anniversary gig at 89 North, but I don't know if
Right.
that'll happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the idea before this whole went crashing down, the idea was even before we started playing with the Benatar project, we made a conscious decision that this was not going to be, and it's not that I'm putting anything down, but this was going to be like a big venue theater gig, and if that means that we only play twice a year,
Yeah.
then we only play twice a year. Like, and with tributes, it's tough, because.
Yeah.
On a good side, people know what they're going to get. But on a bad side, especially when you're dealing with a band like Pat Benatar, who she has her hits, but her catalog is not as deep as, say, Beatles or Billy Joel or Zeppelin
Right.
or maybe even Journey.
You can't
It's
do
not-
3 hours of Benatar. You're
No.
hour and a half tops,
Right.
you know.
Oh,
and
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we may change around 1 or 2 songs, but at the end of the day, people want to hear what they want to hear. They want to hear the hits. So this is not the kind of band that's going to work every week. It's not the kind of band that's going to work, once every month or 2 months in the same area. So that's why when we got hooked up with the agent, and it's not that we were trying to be snotty or anything. We just didn't want to oversaturate
Right.
an area.
Yeah.
And listen, when you're doing Panic, when we got 170 songs, we've done weekends in the past where we've played 3 gigs in a row, maybe sometimes 4. And aside from 1 or 2 songs that people just want to hear, we've
We're not
never
repeating.
repeated a song. I mean, we
Right.
can do 3 or 4 nights and never repeat a song. So
Right.
That's the one thing I noticed with you guys is you guys are always changing your set list.
Always.
Right. So
I mean, there's a couple of songs that obviously you have to.
yeah, they have to.
hear 'em.
Some songs have to be there.
Yeah.
But
Right.
But with the Benatar thing, I suggested it, and Melissa agreed that if it means we only work twice a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year, then that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
We want the show to be an event. And aside from the fact that we didn't want to saturate the area, we were using that as a, for lack of a better phrase, a sales pitch to people, because you don't want to play the 89 North and then play,
Yeah.
the Stereo Garden a month later.
Right.
Right.
We want 3 or 4 months in between each gig in a
Even
particular
more. You need
area.
some distance, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's
Yeah,
the other
absolutely.
As far as Long Island, you got one in Suffolk, one in Nassau, and you're done. You know what I mean?
So with 89 North, we said once or twice a year, like a spring and a fall, because summer is dead. You don't go. And again,
Tribute.
you have to keep in mind the different animal of being a tribute band, So, and again,
That's like a tribute
it's,
band.
right, it's not that deep of a catalog. Again, like the
It's not
Beatles. I mean,
Fleetwood Mac,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean the Beatles. You could go see 3 or 4 nights of the Beatles, and they have such.
Well,
a
even
deep catalog.
Zeppelin, they had a
Zeppelin has a huge catalog. Huge
Well,
catalog.
I'm in Pump, doing that.
Oh, the Aerosmith.
The Aerosmith stuff, and you could
They have a
play,
lot.
You can play for
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is you can do like the 3 different versions of them. You can
Right.
do
The deck.
different eras.
early, the middle, and then the
Yeah,
later,
that
which
80s.
is
You could actually
fascinating too.
break it down. You could actually break it down in decades and still have a lot of material.
Exactly, and still and still have
Yeah.
hits.
Yeah, you
Love
could do
it.
70s. You could do 70s, 80s, and 90s, and play a
Right.
different set every night,
Exactly.
and it will all be good. It will all be
and
good.
hits, and people are like, oh my god, I love that song. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's freaky.
It just keeps going. Do you do Tell Me What It
going.
Takes?
Yes, we do. We do. He sent me a set list. I'm like, I don't know that song. So I got to spend the 20 minutes figuring it out. Doing the show.
That's awesome. Do you have anything with that band or no? With Pump?
Yeah, nothing happening, but yeah, there's gigs booked
Oh yeah.
and things, but I don't expect anything.
Oh, okay. Nothing that's out of state that might happen, or
No, I we have even something at 89 North in November, but
Yeah.
that and then just a few other things. Actually, I think something in 2 weeks, and I'm not sure that's going to happen out in Staten Island. But
oh, okay.
Right.
Wow, that's a trek.
Nothing
Yeah.
with November Rain, right, Joey?
No.
Well,
Look at
we are close to we haven't. When was the last gig we even did, Jar? I don't remember.
Warehouse.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I was
it's
there.
been a
Yeah,
long
you're
time.
right.
Yeah. And we had some great gigs.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget. It's easy for me doing the Izzy thing. Obviously, it's if I shave, I look like him. And,
yeah, that's a cool
and-
cash gig for you, man.
Yeah,
It is.
it's a
Kinda
perfect gig for me.
Get to
So,
just
yeah.
When we're getting ready to go on stage, and everyone's like, "All right, everybody suit up," and he's like, "All right, I'm ready." It's
Yeah.
like,
I
he puts a
put
vest
a hat on.
put a hat
That's
on.
it.
Put a hat on. Okay.
Okay,
You know?
I'm good.
I'm the guy that looks like the fat transvestite on stage, and he just puts a hat on.
Frankenfurter.
Yeah.
Man, it's just it's that's an easy gig for me, So hopefully we get something, but with Steve being so busy right now, and
Yeah.
no gigs anyway.
Well, you know what?
Now.
He deserves it. He's put
Absolutely.
a lot of time in, and he deserves. He does the material great. He does a great Michael Anthony. He does the
Yeah.
harmony dead on for Michael Anthony. So
I saw him wearing his getup. I didn't know he was wearing his getup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that
I
weird?
was like, wait a minute, is that Steve?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Wow. So, what else, you guys? Mel, you're doing. You have any acoustic gigs coming up?
I do. I have August 7th at the Garden Grill. That's next Friday,
Okay.
6 o'clock. And then one last one at the Orr House, August 16th, 4
That's the
o'clock.
whorehouse, right?
That's the whorehouse in Passion.
Whorehouse. The whorehouse.
Ah.
Very good. Very good.
Are there any places on the schedule coming up that you haven't played yet that you'll be playing?
No, it's all places we've always played. Like that North Fork Roadhouse was new for us this past Sunday. But it looks like they may not be having the bands back or as often because, again, they can't really have as many people and it might not
Yeah.
be as cost effective to pay the band versus an acoustic act. So,
Right.
Well, even Amici's, that was the first time we've ever played that place.
yeah, that was the first one. Yep. And we're back there twice. And they talked about us coming back for a possible Oktoberfest. So we're hoping.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow, good luck with all that.
Yeah.
Something.
And we'll definitely, I definitely want to stay in touch as far as these things go because, you guys are doing it as a band and everything. A few of our friends are out there doing solo shows, which is a little easier to control. You can
Sure.
sit back behind something and just do your sets and, go home. But, you guys make people dance.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking.
That's why it's a little awkward in the venues where you can't dance, to play to them,
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll
So-
see how that rolls.
So the secret to Panic is 2 great singers and a great rhythm section, and then that's it. That's all you need, and you kick ass. So
Yeah.
if you look at a plate like meat and potatoes, I'm like the parsley. I'm
The
the
garnishing.
So humble.
garnishment,
Oh.
They used to do me so many fucking pedals. I want to beat the shit out of them.
No,
I know. You don't even get out your pedal board
Yeah,
right
we
now.
haven't even gotten to the guitar part of this.
Get it
We're
out.
only-
Even Tom
Yeah.
Betsy said,
We're
show
only-
your pedal board,
Yeah.
Jerry.
no.
We're only
So
musing right now.
Yeah, and
when
it,
you have,
yeah,
when you
and-
Speaking of Gary, if he's listening, I want to wish him a happy birthday.
Right?
Happy birthday, Gary.
yeah.
Gary. Mr. Gary.
when you have singers like Gary and Melissa in a band and a rhythm
Yeah,
section like we do,
Very good.
there's no song that we can't kill, and there's no song that Gary and Melissa can't deliver. There just isn't. I mean, a commercial song, yeah.
Gary's working behind the scenes, possible Journey tribute too. So,
Yes.
but who knows? If they'll be able to play or not. But
Right.
he's
That's
doing-
yeah. I mean, me
Yeah.
and Tommy know about we have a tribute act coming up, and
That's going to be loud.
Was
yeah.
this the Black Crows?
Oh, shh.
Oh, different. No, not
all
the
right.
Black Chili.
No,
No, it's not.
no.
Yeah, we're actually we're
That wasn't
actually
us.
working on
It's
it.
Keith Urban. It's Keith Urban.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what
we
it
did
is.
a Keith Urban tribute. That would be car fucking crash.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Joey loves him. He wants to marry him.
Oh my god. Fucking flutters his eyes, and I'm just a puddle.
Why don't you marry him?
Oh man. So
You're
all
gonna
right,
need you're gonna need a dozen different tunings for that.
That's
Yeah.
Joey's
Dude,
problem.
that's
not
all
mine.
I do is dozen different tunings all the time. Like all these guitars behind me are all in different tunings.
Oh my, Jerry,
I
break
just
out
get to
your
be
pedal
Mark
board.
Ford. I'm
Yeah.
really happy.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
I love those open tunings, man. That's
Yeah.
the few times
I don't
was-
like.
the last
I
couple
don't
times
like-
I played with Panic, I would come up and I always did, and whatever Stone stuff you were doing,
Yeah.
it was always open tuning.
Yeah.
Yep.
'Cause
I
nobody,
just,
nobody wants to do it, and I love it. It's my,
I
it's
love
my
Well,
thing.
when you're doing this type of places that we're playing, when you're trying to keep the crowd going, it's really
can't.
unless I break a string, I never do a guitar change unless
Absolutely,
like
absolutely.
like a different. I'll change guitars between sets, but
Yep.
unless I break a string, we're just going. We're going.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. You don't have much of a choice. I'm
Yeah.
fortunate that I have a guy, Mike, that actually does the road work for me and Tommy.
Right.
That will hand us guitars, switch,
Oh,
quick
awesome.
switch.
And the easy thing for this particular product is he'll be leaning on him. Joey would be leaning on him, not less so than I would be, because I would only probably be changing just if I break something at that point, for those shows, or maybe go to maybe drop it down to a Strat for some of the stuff. But other than that, it's pretty straight. Now, when Mike works with me for the Aerosmith thing, I do Joe Perry, so I bring 6 guitars and I change.
Oh.
I change accordingly, with the song.
And he's not changing his tunings. He just wants to show everybody he's got a big.
Right, just show them the guitar collection.
If you're going to be authentic, that's what he does. He uses,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's not
There's,
different
there's
guitars.
zero reason for him to change the guitars.
Right.
Exactly.
There's absolutely
Ragdoll.
To
Ragdoll,
show off
right?
his
That's the only
collection.
one.
Yeah, he's just showing the collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to go see Tom Petty once, probably 20 years ago, at Jones Beach. And he had literally a wall of combos. Had to have 15 or 20 different amplifiers and a dozen guitars. And I'm listening, and I could not tell the difference between any guitar change and any amp change. It's
Nope.
just a clean sound. I mean, he could have just done it with a Fender amp and a Rickenbacker.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, if he had an AC20 or an AC30 and whatever guitar he was playing, he could do the whole show. He could do the whole show like that.
Yeah, but that
Why
was
not?
that was before 9/11 and all the shipping restrictions. He's not carrying. I mean, he's not carrying anything now, but you can't transport that many amps for a show anymore. So
No,
Right.
no, you got to get all those empty cabinets.
yeah.
And an Axe-Fx, right?
Right, stuck in the back of the empty cabinet.
Yeah. So.
Jerry,
All
have
right.
you pedal board anywhere nearby, or?
Really, man?
on.
My pedal board, man.
And Joe Bella liked the garnish comment. She's cracking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll start going to one of our segments. If Jerry, if you want to get your pedal board, you could bring that out.
Yeah.
We'll put Mel on the spot for a second. We have a new segment that we just started last week out of the blue. Actually, it hasn't been aired. It was one show we did on Tuesday that hasn't aired yet. And we call it the Spinal Tap moment.
Oh, you'll have to remind me.
Yeah. Oh, this is all new. So we haven't done this. So tell me about one of your Panic or Best Shot gigs where you had a Spinal Tap moment. Something got so fucked up that you had to bail.
Well,
Joey, she's kind of young. You got to explain what Spinal Tap moment means.
where it got messed up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the movie, but
You know,
Just-
the Spinal Tap moment
ridiculous,
is a perfect
like,
example.
shit.
Is when the bass player got stuck in in that shell thing, that shell pod thing, right? He couldn't get out. You know. Or you go out to the bathroom, you can't get back onto stage or something. That's just one of those things that only happens, and it happens in like almost every gig. There's some fucked up shit that happens.
right. Well, I would say with the Benatar is really only because. Well, no, I'll give a Panic Spinal Tap moment. I'm driving the trailer on the expressway, and it comes unhitched.
No.
Oh man.
Yes, on the side of the road, and I had to call Gary. He had to come wrap around and put it back on.
You
It
know
was
why? Because fucking women drivers. God damn it,
That's
Mel.
I was going too fast with
Yeah.
the.
Your vagina didn't know how to hold that trailer in place.
It was bad. It was bad.
Sparks flying off the wheel in the back.
Right?
Just going,
It was. I got dented. The car's jackknifed. And Jerry, what about the warehouse with
People are
Bennett?
beeping at you though, and you're like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, I'm like, screw it. What's the matter? All the trailers on the side of the road detached. Yeah. Well, actually, when we did the warehouse gig, which was great, or not so great for us, but we were second, and the band was on a little bit longer. It was a 70s band. They're awesome. But these places where they play the DJ so loud in between where you're setting up,
Yeah.
we didn't have a pre-set up like you do at 89 North or anything. So we're getting ready, and poor Jerry is sweating. He's setting all the stuff up. Something was crapping out. He basically was cursing out the guitar player. The other guitar player was like, "Hey man, I love your rig," and Jerry's like, "I'm having a problem." Back up, right? Back up. And we started like a half hour, 40 minutes late. Tom Fetzer could tell you because he was there going,
He was there.
come on. Nerve wracking, but also funny. And Jerry was like, "Never again are we going second with the DJ blaring."
Not doing it. Doing it. No, because the reason why 89 North was such a great gig is the same reason why we didn't have a great gig at Warehouse.
Yeah.
With 89 North, we got there at 4:00. I mean,
We
we
set
tested
up, we sound
everything.
checked.
I mean, we just everybody checked all their batteries, checked all their cables. We got a sound check. We did the sound check for 2 or 3 different songs, and then, when you do something like that, it's a different mind frame that you're walking on stage a lot more calm, a lot more comfortable, and a lot more focused on putting on a good show. If you're trying to set up, your entire rig in less than 10 minutes and do a mic check when the DJ is blasting the music, you're just not going to have a good gig. So
And Joey, let's face it, the entire Jerry rig with pedal board.
oh,
All right. There's a famous saying, "Fucking Jerry."
Fucking Jerry. People are cracking up with us right now, by the way. People are cracking up.
Oh man.
But who's the next Spinal Tap, Tom?
Oh, we're just getting you guys on this one.
Oh, all
You do
right,
the other
sorry.
ones. Unless
Jerry,
Tom,
where's
you
your
got
Spinal
a good one?
I get a quick one. So
Yeah, go ahead.
This was God, it was a Grimjack gig, and it was CBGB's, and we were doing setup, and it was still light out, where you can actually the light would come into this fucking place, and you could see what it looked like.
Right.
So that was just horrific, and it's a great gig. It's a great venue. It was a lot of fun. So I at the time, like, I had, as soon as it came out, the Boss ME5, which was their multi-effects pedal, which is it's a great pedal. I still have it, but the input is sitting on a PC board, and I didn't know it at the time, so I plug in to this and plug into my Marshall, and I turn it on, and the whole program had been wiped out because it shorted, and every single effect in every single patch was on and on 10. So you turn it on, and it just went, yeah! just made that noise, just exactly like that. And so I'm freaking out, but luckily, in my bag, I always have a tube screamer, because that's the perfect backup to, a 6, multi-effect, channel switching thing. Anyway, so I'm freaking out and playing this thing, and then, heavily relying on this ME5 for the year I think I was in Grimjack at that point, and then I just plugged in the tube screamer and used that with the Marshall, and the gig went fine, and that was the retirement of the ME5, though I did end up fixing the PC board by later, but it was strange, man. Just
That's the only reason. That's the only thing that's preventing me from going Line 6 or Axe Effect.
yeah, it's just because
I mean,
one short on that
That's
PC
it.
board on your input or your output,
That's it.
it's just soldered right onto the board.
That's it. You're dead.
Don't talk
You
him
got-
out of it, Tom. Tom, don't talk him out.
I'm just saying, because my pedal board is, the one for the tribute band is huge. My other ones are small, but the one where you got to cover it,
Len,
30
check your
years,
phone.
40 years of Aerosmith, you got to frickin'.
What, he's trying to call me?
Yeah, he said check your phone. He's messaging you.
I'm on TV. Stop it, Ed.
I
Ed's
do
sending
have
dick pics to Lenny. Check your phone, Len. Check your phone.
I do have one November Rain.
Yeah.
Come on, Jerry, tell us.
Yeah, I got to hear this,
Bring it,
man.
man.
Spinal Tap. I think this was before Joey joined.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give the person's name, but it was a drummer that we had years and years and years ago, and we were playing some. I don't even know where the hell it was. It was like, it had to be Ohio, because I remember it was a 10-hour ride one way. So we're playing like this bar in Ohio. I don't know why they paid us to travel 20 hours for a 2-hour gig, but they did. And the guy the drummer that we had, he liked to drink. He just liked to drink.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
we all like to have, but he just would pregame a lot. And good guy, good drummer, but he pre-gamed a lot. And the bar owner made the mistake of coming up to the band saying, I have bottles and bottles of tequila in the green room.
Oh, yeah.
Have a great time. It's all yours. And if it wasn't tequila, it was something else, but it was like Jack Daniels or tequila.
But there was lots, right?
Bottles. And he said, like, whatever we don't finish, we can take. I mean, he just gave it to us.
I love that
And
guy.
Wow.
me and Steve knew that we had already some issues with the drummer drinking, and we turned around and looked at each other and we said, oh no, this is going to be bad. And, I mean, we're nobody's parents, and we're not going to, be anybody's mom. So we just, we try to slow it down a little bit, but like right in the middle of the set, he just fell over on his drums, and it was a mess. I mean, he got through the gig, but he was half on the chair, half off the chair, and so that's the Spinal Tap moment.
Yeah, I was at that one. I remember the gig.
You do?
Yeah. That was
Uh-oh,
Ferrari
Jerry.
Brothers. Remember the Ferrari Brothers? That was in Akron.
Which one is this?
The
That's the
Ferrari
track.
Brothers Festival. It wasn't. It was like a bar. Yeah, I remember it very well. I know who you're talking about. I remember that gig very well.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said he was there.
Wow.
Jerry, how much tequila did
That-
you have?
Yeah.
No,
You
I
know
just
why
don't
I remember that
it was-
gig so well. That was I played 2 gigs that Friday night. One from 7 to 10 in the Nautical Mile. Then I went to the Nutty and played from 11 to 4 a.m. I got in our truck, and we went to Ohio. We played that afternoon, evening, and then we came back. We stayed overnight in Akron. We drove back. I actually remember I drove back because Steve drove there. I drove back, or at least half the way back, and I played.
Was that when we played with the Metallica tribute band?
Yes.
Is that them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I remember.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the bass player was so nice. The bass player came here one day for business or something. I know, and had lunch with him. A great guy. I'm trying to
Wow.
remember his name. Good guy. It'll come to me later. I'll tag him on it. But yeah, I remember that gig very well because it was tequila.
It was
definitely
definitely.
Yeah.
You can always
Well,
remember it
this
or
is-
not.
Yeah.
It's just so funny because as soon as he made the announcement about all the free booze, and me and Steve and I just looked at each other and we said, "Oh no,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
like this is
Yeah.
going to be bad," And we asked him, "Dude, just "No, I'm good. I'm good."
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
good.
That was bad.
Yeah,
That was bad.
That's a good Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
not good.
So all right, let's go on to start up some of our segments.
Yeah.
Tommy, you want to do your segment?
What is my segment today?
The one that got away.
Hold on. I'm
The
trying
one
to
that got
think.
away.
I know what it is.
We don't have to do it ourselves, so
I'm just like looking over here. What are my notes? So normally what we talk about here is, we've all had gear that have come and gone and traded. Apparently not so much you, Jerry, because apparently you keep everything you ever get.
Not everything, but
But
Everything.
who are, some of these guys are going, no, still have it. I think Chris last week goes, no, still have everything I ever bought.
yeah. I don't understand what that kid even meant by that.
Yeah, I didn't
get
get
that.
I didn't. So normally what we do is, Jerry, what did you ever get anything that you go, this was the greatest thing, and then just you had to sell it or trade it because you needed rent or you needed just to get rid of it or
Or divorce.
or divorce or
No, the one piece of gear that I regret getting rid of, and the only reason why I got rid of it is because it was just so much of a monster of an amplifier. It was the Bogner Ecstasy 20th anniversary head.
yeah.
It's a great amp. It's really big. It's 100 watts, and if you're not playing that thing, on 4 or 5, you're just not getting it. You're
Right.
not getting what it's supposed to give you.
Right.
And I just couldn't. There was no band that I could, like, when I get equipment or when I trade equipment. It's not just to get it. It's got to fill a spot.
Right.
A different sound or a different scale. It's 22 frets, 24. Like, it's got to fit something that I don't have. And there was no. I used it for a year when I played in Steve's Journey band, Separate Ways. And the only reason why it worked there is because they were fortunate enough to have huge gigs. I mean, every gig was a theater or an outdoor gig, every gig. So I was able to really crank that amp really loud. And I remember we were playing this outdoor festival, and I had, Bogner 412 with the Bogner Ecstasy. I mean, sounded awesome. And I walked out with my wireless, and I said, shut the mic off. Let me hear it with just the, live sound. And he goes, that is live sound. I mean, this thing was a monster.
Yeah.
So I actually traded that in for, I ended up getting a Mesa Boogie dual rectifier, which, again, Mesa Boogie dual rectifier is a monster of an amplifier,
Monster
but
too. Yeah.
you don't need to crank it up as loud as you do the Bogner. But it was a great amp. So I regret getting rid of that one. But I had no use for it. There was nothing that And I just didn't see anything in a foreseeable future of me being needed to play that loud. So,
Yeah,
what a great amp.
I did something very similar too, and I just got
All
rid
right,
of it.
Melissa, take it easy.
We're playing Get Down on It. Go ahead.
Yeah. To play KC and the Sunshine Band. You know?
Yes, because that's the amp.
Yes.
I think that he used that on that record.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So Mel, any gear you've gotten rid of that you just regret? Perhaps it's that microphone that was just the diamond encrusted one, and you feel
No, I
bad.
wish. But I did go from a Shure to a Sennheiser. But the Shure was always good, wireless, by the way. Shure
Yeah.
50 to Sennheiser. I only switched because Gary switched too, and we wanted to make sure we had all the same frequencies and things like that.
Ah, okay.
There really was nothing wrong with my Shure. I had it for so long, and nothing was wrong with it. Still works. Sennheiser is good. I don't know if I really noticed a difference, to be honest with you. I noticed the difference in our new equipment that we got for Panic because we finally.
Well, I was just going to
powered.
say,
Yeah.
you should ask her what equipment,
Oh, man.
has she gotten that she can't live without now.
Well,
So
all
that-
of us.
That's true.
We got the powered stuff now. So we always had powered subs for about 2 years, but we had amps for all the mains and monitors. So we finally went powered everything and got the Behringer XR18 Air.
Nice.
So the,
yeah.
So
Wow.
You can use an
I
iPad
mean-
on that now, right?
yeah, so we got the iPad. I mean,
Oh,
we finally came to
yeah.
this century. It's so
Yeah.
awesome.
You know,
and
and
it really does sound better,
yeah, and the Behringer stuff is made really well. I mean,
Oh, it's
we were
great.
all kind of trashing it when it first came out, but man,
Right. Yep.
you can't beat it. You really
We were
can't.
toying
even-
around with that, the Mackie. Then what was the other one that we thought of? Somebody else, Allen and Heath, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Behringer had the
You're
best.
all in.
See, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I know
No,
a lot
but-
about sound now.
She can talk about some gear.
we set the PA up just in her garage just to learn how to set the whole thing up.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
and like immediately you can just tell that it was it was not necessarily loud. It is loud, but it's just a quality loud. It's not like you're
Right.
pushing it. I mean, it was
Yep.
just, and we all bought our own powered monitors.
Right.
And
Well, Jerry and Nick are doing powered monitors, and me, Mark, and Gary are doing our in-ears. We're going totally in-ear. And it's
Right.
actually working out great. This way we have a little less feedback going on, and,
Right.
I
It's a
mean,
lot-
the difference in wires is unbelievable.
get it. And
Yeah,
there's-
and
we had two 4 or 5 space rack systems that we don't need to bring anymore. Granted, the speakers are a little heavier, but it's
Yeah.
just so worth it. It's so
Yeah,
worth
you
it.
know, they
Yeah,
carry the
that's
power
very
amps
cool.
now.
Yep.
And I can tell you, I remember from November Rain, Jerry didn't like anything in his rear.
Yeah. That,
For the most part.
Oh boy.
he always comes out with a good one.
lost
Otherwise,
Lenny
that's
again.
my gear story for
Oh,
the
there he
day.
is. He's back. He's back.
Nice.
All right.
Lenny,
So-
you're sideways. What happened to you, Len?
He's coming back. He's coming back.
He's
I think he's
sideways.
frozen. You know what?
Oh.
He's actually down. He's in Ash. There he's coming.
Is he coming back?
Yeah, I think he might be locked up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Ed Shin did it.
Yeah, there I am.
probably.
Hey.
There you are. I hear you.
No, I
I
can't.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh
He's
no.
doing a fishbowl.
Hey!
He sounds like he's on my grandmother's cricket.
He's on his Boost Mobile.
Oh, there you are, Len. Can we hear you now?
There you are. You're
Hello?
straight on.
Check 1, 2, check.
There you go. There you go. All right,
Okay.
Lenny, you
We're-
want to do
we're
your
back.
segment?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, usually just lost it. I know you're up north, right?
The gear?
North Shore?
Yes.
Oh boy. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So anyway, so this part of the show is we go around and we talk about a piece of gear that we just purchased or we're thinking about purchasing or we just downright can't stand. And we call this the gear of the week portion of the show. So
Yep.
I'm going to start with Jerry.
Ah,
Is there a
What's
piece
the-
of gear that
Gear of the week. Either something
That you
that
possess
you want, or something that's new that you've just got that you're like, wow, this is really cool, or something
I
I
I
can't
have-
get this fucking guitar to stay in tune. You know?
hold on. I do have something.
Okay.
Oh, no.
If he brings out a dildo, I'm running.
I know, man. I'm not putting that on this show again.
So,
Not again.
so this is a guitar that I've had probably for 20 years. And for the life of me, I just couldn't get a decent sound out of it. I have like 2 of them, actually. But anyway, it's the Steve Morse Ernie Ball guitar.
Oh, wow.
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 That's
Yeah.
super cool.
The problem with this is that it comes with 4 pickups. It comes with 2 humbuckers and 2 single coils. And
Yeah.
it was just, for whatever reason, I could not get it to do what I wanted it to do. So what I did was I was listening to a lot of Yngwie Malmsteen, and I made...
Oh, not Yngwie Schmorowitz?
Yes, not Yngwie Smith. So what I did was I had a special pick guard made for this that will do just 3 single coils.
Okay.
And I put Yngwie DiMaggio pickups in
So you
there.
keep the other one covered.
Right. So, but if you notice, and this is just for Tom and the other
Wow.
geeks in the room,
Yeah.
you notice, and for Joey,
Yep.
on a regular Strat, this pickup goes this way,
Yep.
Right.
with the bottom angled this way.
Yeah. So
And
you got
it's
a
just-
Hendrix version.
Right. So it's
Tony Hendricks.
It's
Yeah.
way too thinny, way too tinny.
Okay.
So when I got the pick guard made, I asked him to angle it that way so that I would get a little bit more high end on the low strings
Right.
Yeah.
and a little bit low end on the high strings.
Awesome.
And then it's just 1 switch and 1 knob. None of that, very
Yeah.
basic.
That fucking tone knob.
Yeah.
It's
you don't need any
overrated.
of that.
I hate
But,
that.
I didn't need that.
So
I
it's
didn't
so
use
it's
that
doing what you
fancy
want
shit.
now.
Yeah, now finally, after 20 years, it's doing,
Dude, that's
right.
awesome.
after 20 years, it's doing, and of course I got Floyd in there.
I
Tom
know.
just got all excited. He was like, dude, that's awesome.
Like I said, I have no pants on.
I think Jerry, were you in your underwear?
No, I was wearing shorts. Thanks a lot.
We've had guests on in their underwear before, so it
I'm
wouldn't be
sure-
the first.
Tom Fester's
One
flying
of the
over
funniest
the
guests is
interior.
when Joey Tafoya had a couple of drinks.
He did. He was so good, man. It was. I just reminded him of the freaking St. Vincent's first live. She did her first live thing on Instagram, and about an hour and a half in, she was hammered.
I love
Yeah.
her.
And,
Yeah,
and it was
that's
great. She came back the next week going, I'm going to probably take it a little easier this
I
time.
know.
Yeah. So, Mel, do you have anything? You got you changed your mics, right? Oh, you got
Yeah,
the
the
new
mics and actually the new system. So I already
New
went with the
system.
gear talk, Len.
right.
When you fell off the map before, I already did the gear.
Right. Right. And
That's
Len,
it for me, guys. I can't come back on the show. I got no other gear.
you get a new
No,
mic cable or something.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
I got a new top. I got new
I
pair of shoes.
got this new top.
I know.
Yeah, I got a new top. You know.
Awesome.
It's time for you to take up harmonica.
That's
Yeah.
it. I need a tambourine.
Yeah, then we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Tommy, what do you got?
All right, so I've been searching for a 212 cabinet for no reason other than I need a 212 cabinet. But to do the particular project we're doing, I was going to do a couple of amps set up, and I like to have enough speakers, so I'm moving air. So I've been searching and searching and searching, and I've seen some cool stuff. And one thing I almost got was this Vox 212 with Weber speakers in it, and I was like, oh, so close to doing that, but I didn't because it was I don't know. To me, it's so Beatles when you see that, or Tom Petty, so it freaks me out. So I searched and searched and searched, couldn't find anything, and I realized I wanted a pair of 65s, the original ones from the JCM.
Right.
And I searched and searched, and finally just Mojo Tone makes the 1936 cabinet, which is the old 212 Marshall, not the old, but the JCM 800 212. It goes with my JCM 212 combo, right? And it's great. And they had the speakers, and then what happened was I call them. I say, I need you to change these. He goes, well, we only have 165 in stock, and I don't know when we're going to get another one. So I'm like, okay, let's think about this. And I'm talking to him. I say, okay, give me a 65 cream back, because Joey and I are about different speakers and different, in different configurations. Like my Marshall's got a 30 and a greenback in it, and then I got a greenback cabinet. So it was great. So negotiated everything, got a great deal on the thing, and they shipped it out, and I had it in 2 days. It's great. I opened it up, and because I'm really anal, because their normal stuff on their site is 16 ohm, and I needed 8 ohm. So yeah, see, now people are starting to glaze over because they fucking 8 ohm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like fucking ohms.
You all right? You all right, Melissa? You okay?
Oh my God. How
Something I
many?
thought he said cream.
Wait, are more ohms better? Should I get like 20 ohms?
Wait, how many?
20, 21, whatever it
Yeah.
takes.
So, and you only want 8, Tom? So I told the guy I needed 8 ohm. He goes, well, I can do 16. No, I need that. So I go one of those. So we work all that out, gets here, and I go, well, I'm taking my fucking meter out because I'm going to make sure these guys did this right. And it's been great. This is Mojo Tone. And I told them I was going to give him a shout out, but they know what happened. So I take my meter to it. Oh, yeah, actually, the first thing I did is I try and stick a jack in, and it pops out. I'm like, what the fuck? Is there somebody inside there going, pushing it back out? I put it back in, comes out. I try another cable just in case, and that did that. And I'm like, fuck. So I immediately text the guy and say, look, this thing's not coming in. You got to send me a new wiring harness because I'm not fucking around with this. And he goes, no problem. I'll have this out to you today. You'll have it tomorrow, man. I'm sorry about this. Then I open up the back of the cabinet, and the jumper wires are off the speaker. And I'm like,
Wow.
I bet you didn't see that one coming, Melissa.
no, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, Melissa, that.
I definitely didn't see that
Did
coming.
you?
Melissa would
did
have
you-
lost her mind.
did
I
you-
was like, oh, the wire's there, the cable's
Oh
there.
my God! So I'm like, I take a picture. I think I sent you one, Joey, but I also
Yeah.
sent it to the guy and go, look, what the
Again,
fuck?
it was a dick pic. It was not a picture of the cabinet.
Oh, that's right. You know what? Different conversation. So I sent this to him. He goes, well, he's really nice. I don't want to throw him under the bus, but he started saying, well, maybe FedEx rolled the thing. I'm going, well, I'm going to fucking move this thing like I'm doing gigs. I might be off stage in 2 seconds. I might be throwing this to Mike. Mike's on,
Yeah.
by the way. Hey, Mike.
Hey, man.
Throwing it to him, and the wire's going to come off. So I'm like, it's not crimped and stuff. And he's like, I'm really, really sorry. I said, look, man, you got it out to me quick. You got it configured the way I want. Just send me the thing. I'll take care of this. And I took care of it. And he said, if you want any, I have a deal working in the background for something else that I want. And they've been very accommodating. I just, when you get something custom and you get it quick, sometimes it's better to take things a little slower. Like Jerry, when you get your guitars done, you say it takes the guy, the better
Oh,
3 or 4 moon
It's-
cycles, right? Before
but it's worth it. But he's busy.
it's worth it. And
Yeah,
this
he's
is
busy.
I actually, once I got it all connected, I threw my JCM 800 on it and turned the JCM up to 8. I mean, I just blasted it just to
Holy
see if there was
shit.
anything. And the kids, my son comes down here. He's got the sound headphones on. He's going, Dad, people can hear this outside. Like I'm in the basement and it's isolated
Right.
down here, and he says we can hear it down the street. I'm like, all right, it works.
You were like, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I
Fucking
have
neighbors.
one of those.
Jerry, don't get any ideas for that.
Fuck those neighbors. So anyway,
Third
part,
one down back there does the same thing.
Yeah. So part of the charm of what we're going to do is going to require the shield of shame in front of our amp.
I
Oh,
got
I
one
was
of
gonna
those.
say.
He already got his. I'm gonna go get
I got
mine.
mine. I showed that off last week. So
Yeah, because we're just it's gonna
It's gonna
piss
be
people off.
fucking brutally loud.
It's gonna be brutally loud because
Oh, Jerry's definitely going.
Yeah.
you gotta move some air for this stuff. If you
Bruno's
listen,
gonna fucking
Move
scold
some
us
air.
like a fucking school
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
mom.
If you listen to those records, you could tell they
They're
they
fucking
recorded loud.
They
Yeah.
played loud, yeah.
Yeah.
Full volume.
Blazing.
Me and Tommy we went to the studio to just kind of work on some tones and stuff, and
And we're like,
we were
loud.
playing it. It sounded good, and I said, "Wait a minute." And I just took the amp and I turned it from like maybe 3 or 4. I just turned it up to 7, and it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, there you go. There's the tone
Yeah.
right there."
I did the same
You
thing.
blew
Just-
their speaker.
Marshalls.
the Jubilee, like it doesn't work until you turn it up to 7.
Yeah.
It's a 50 watt. It doesn't do its thing.
Yeah.
Same thing like Jerry, you were saying with the Ecstasy, man. If I had a 120 watt Splon that I thought I was going to be using for like outdoor gigs. The gigs
Yeah.
never came. Dude, that amp impossible to play. Even it had a half power switch, and you tried to manipulate with the effect send, because that was controllable with DB and stuff, and it was too hard to work with. So I did end up selling that, which I don't miss, because it was just, not only that, it was a 120 watt. It was heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was built
Yeah,
like
but those spawns don't have any sag in them. That's the problem.
no
No
man.
sag at all.
No, it is just.
I mean, you're out there naked with that amp.
yeah,
You
it
got-
is.
Very unforgiving. Very
it's
unforgiving.
It's unforgiving. It's if I was playing, if I had an 8-string, that amp
Right.
is just perfect, man, because
Right.
it is powerful and stuff. People love them. I
No,
love it too, but it was
it's
just
a
it just
great
couldn't-
sound.
I couldn't get it to do. Certainly couldn't do it in Grimjack with that thing. It was,
Right. I had Mojo Tone do my cabinets. What Joey was saying, I had them redone in blue.
Yeah.
Just to be different.
They
for
look
the,
beautiful, man. They look great in the pictures, and with
Yeah.
the blue ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I noticed you got the blue cable management on there too. I was like, oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Hey, you fucker.
He's got it all.
Barry, do you have
Got
the
it
best
all.
shot behind you? The one that you put the logo on?
Yeah, hold on.
This is cool.
I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, I'll
Bring it over to it.
yep.
We
Oh,
put our
nice.
logo.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh,
There you go.
that's so cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
We got to play out with that twice. That's it.
Looks
There
good.
you go.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, I got that done, and then
2 gigs
I'm
and
not-
we were out.
yeah, I don't think I even had.
That's it. Bang.
No, you did. You had it in AC, right?
I don't think I had that for 89 though.
No, you
No,
did not.
no,
Did
the
not.
other two.
I would have given you shit about that.
Yeah.
Like you didn't do that
Well,
shit
that's
for
that's
November.
what I
Rain.
was. Well, that's what I was
Lazy
saying.
fucker.
For the 89 North, we just didn't have anything. We didn't have a
Yeah.
banner. We didn't have a. You know.
Look at that behind him, though, Joey. That's your original banner, isn't it?
Yeah. It's one
No,
of them.
that's a real banner.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh,
Where's
yeah.
the November Rain one that you said is like a blanket? Like
I don't know. It's probably.
you
with all
left
my
it at
other-
89 for about 2 years. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We did. It's fucking bad.
And then they said they lost it, and then like 6
Yeah.
months later, I was there for Panic. He's like, "Oh, by the way, we found your
Yeah.
banner."
Yeah,
Oh, okay, thanks.
absolutely.
All right, Joey, what do you got? Hold it
All
in
right.
your hand, sir.
Yeah, let me spotlight myself. I usually don't do this, so. All right.
Hey, there you are.
There I am, and I'm big. I usually don't show up this
Okay,
much. This
whatever.
one usually doesn't make it down here downstairs. I recently upgraded this. I put the FU tone block in the back. You see the brass block.
Oh, very nice.
Oh.
I remember Jerry, you had told me about this, about adding that because you had
Yeah.
done it to one of yours.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So I decided to do it. We've talked to Adam. Adam's actually going to come on and do the show. He's agreed to come on and do the show. I wanted to try it out first. Well, sure, it'd be great to get it for free, but I mean, this wasn't expensive. You know, it's not much, and it's honestly, it's very easy to do. I did it in maybe about 15 minutes. You know, even marking the saddles where they go. It was
Really?
it just made a nice difference. I do like it. It's got a little more. It's a lot more sustained. So
And the tone's a little bit brighter.
not brighter. It just sounds more Les Paul. It's part of the Les Paul thing is it's got that warm tone from the mahogany and the posts and everything. This one the Floyd Rose is what the naysayers, they say, you're losing all that sustain and everything that
Yeah.
Les Paul has, but there are times you need a Floyd Rose, and I love my Les Paul.
Yeah.
So, sorry, things change, man. So
Yeah.
I have all my other Les Pauls are all set up the way every other Les Paul is. This is the one that I use that actually has a floating bridge in it. So I wanted this to sound as close to a standard Les Paul as possible. So that
We were playing Claudio's a couple of years ago, and what would you say his name was, Adam
Yeah.
from FU Tone?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was actually there, and I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So he comes up to me, and like he just like, I guess wanted to get an honest opinion. He's like, "Oh, I see you got the detuner there," and I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "How do you like it?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's good. You know, it does what it's supposed to do, stays in tune." He's like, "Oh, I'm from the company. I own the company." I'm like, "Oh shit, it's a good thing I didn't say anything bad about it." You know.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's funny because he's like, "Oh, you know, here's my card. You know, let me know if you're ever in the city. We'll hang out." He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah. This actually, when I got this one, it had the detuner on it too. It's not really cut for it, and I wasn't using it. I wasn't dropping D on this one. I got Mike, so if I need something with a drop D, I'll just ask for that instead. So I took the detuner off, and it worked perfectly. I never had a problem with it. It's just this particular guitar is not really set up for it. You know, it was too close when it was pushed in to the body. Not that I take care of my guitars. You know, I'm rough. You guys have all seen me on stage. I'm on top of the stage. I'm on top of the bar. I'm not easy on equipment. So.
Yeah, every time we're playing November Rain gig, he goes up on the bar, and everybody's like, "Why don't you go up on the bar?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't think I'll be able to get down." So
I would get down. You know, I'd fall.
yeah, it's not going to be pretty, you know.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're going to go on to our last section, which is our most fun section, and it's the fuck you section. All right. So the fuck you is always a compliment. All right. So we're talking about people that we admire and have influenced us, and the one that perfect example for me, for example, is usually Richie Kotzen. There's a guy who can sing, and he plays guitar amazingly, and then he's got to fucking play piano amazingly. So fuck you, Richie, for being that way, being that good that make me look like I should not be playing guitar at all. So I'm gonna leave him as my fuck you this week. But we always do the guests last, so they get a little bit more flavor, so they understand where it's going. Although some guests seem to like to actually give a real fuck you.
And feel free.
Yeah, do whatever you want. So, Lenny, what's your fuck you?
All right. Well, I know last week I said I went down like this blues road, and I was listening to a guy named Walter Trout. This week I got into Stevie Ray Vaughan, and really, went through his whole catalog, and the stuff he did with David Bowie, and just his whole career, and how he was tough for him to get noticed and signed. And then when he finally did, he started getting gigs opening for contemporary artists in the 80s as like new wave acts like Bryan Adams, and really, went against the grain and took that style of blues, which is kind of like a Jimi Hendrix without trying to sound like Jimi Hendrix, but that whole traditional Texas blues, and bring it to the forefront to modern music. I just thought it was completely amazing because it turned on so many more people onto his music. So my FU goes to Stevie Ray Vaughan for the legacy that he left, that is still continuing to be built by other blues people, and sorely missed, but God bless him. The guy was great.
Right.
Oh yeah, he was just
awesome.
Untouchable. The great stories that Andy shared from his book.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about that, and even sharing the David Grissom story where he said that they didn't have room for his amps on the stage, so they put them in the hallway behind there, and David went back there and just stood there and just heard his pure sound, and he related in the book that it was louder than you could imagine, he said, but the tone was just from heaven. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's just the way he played.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Tommy,
Yeah.
I got you on the spotlight, so go ahead, let's give your fuck you in.
Hey, well, you know what? I listened and watched the David Bowie Sidemen thing with Earl Slick, and fucking Earl Slick is a douche.
Yep.
Who would work with that guy? You think I'm a dick? This guy, oh my God! But I saw him the last time Bowie played at right before he had the heart attack when he played at Jones Beach, and it was Earl Slick. I was just of course there to see Bowie, but Earl Slick was so amazing, and another guy who plays really really loud and was allowed to play loud, at these gigs and stuff, and then his legacy as far as being a sideman with the Dolls and Phantom Rocker and Slick and anything that he did, and just his input and his Golden Years is him. It's his ripoff of oh my God, what is that? The Cream song, something Women Blues. I forget. Anyway, but the one that goes, let's see, it goes. But that's so. If you listen to that, that's Golden Years.
Right.
He stole the Cream tune. So, yeah, and just an all-around cool dude. So fuck Earl Slick.
Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna move on to Mel. I'm gonna put you on the spotlight here.
Oh,
So who do you got to fuck you to?
I guess a big fuck you, but I hate saying fuck you, but to Sade. To Sade.
Oh, her
Sade.
band too.
It's her band, her, everything. I was just talking about her concert to someone that I went to in 2001 at Jones Beach.
I was there.
You were?
Yeah, I was there.
I was there.
It was
So,
fucking good.
and I cried. I don't know if you cried.
No, I was naked, so there was no crying. So.
The whole concert was just so good. She's so good. Like you said, the band is so great. She stood there flawlessly. She doesn't need to run around the stage. The voice just comes out. Our Love is King, besides, Smooth Operator and everything else. Just unbelievable. I do miss that she's not around right now, too, currently. But I like that. I think the younger people are still, appreciating her,
Right.
Yeah.
As one of those, really good classic artists, girls who can sing,
And just a killer band. I mean, just
Killer band. Those guys probably don't even get the recognition.
no, and they were just that's still her band. I mean, that was her band.
Yes.
Through all the records. I mean, that was.
I think they say Sade is not just her. It's
It's the
Right.
band.
right,
And God, those guys are so good.
right.
The guy has a beautiful gold top too. I remember that.
See, look at Jerry got happy. He smiled.
Yeah.
He's like,
No,
gold top.
it's just that. Of course, he noticed the guy's guitar.
Well, you too.
I know. What am I
You
gonna-
would have noticed.
Sade was great too.
Yeah, we're like, oh, Sade was there. Good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna move over to Jerry. Jerry, you're in the spotlight. Who are you giving a fuck you to?
So I'm not necessarily. I don't play anything like this guy. I mean, I listen to him a lot. It has nothing. I don't play anything like him at all. But it's Steve Vai, who I think is an incredible guitar player. But here's what I wonder about him, because years ago I went to NAMM and I met him. He was signing autographs, and some kid came up to him and he said, "I would do anything to play like you." And he stopped signing an autograph and he said, "Okay, 20 hours a day, every day, start now."
Right.
Which means, he didn't just get like that because he just, woke up that way. He really played his ass off. But when you're thinking about someone like Steve Vai or even, Yngwie or Satriani, what I wonder about them is, do they ever get challenged anymore? Because these guys can play anything. I mean, anything note perfect. They can write any score out. They can play every mode, every key. So, as great as they are, I'm wondering, does anything ever excite them or challenge them?
Well, I think we've touched upon this conversation a couple of times on the show, and it's still magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they.
No, and our friend Andy, who interviews these guys and meets them all the time and does all that, he even says they're just guys, no matter what level they are, they just want to play guitar and hang out. They love it. They think it's still as magic. He also says Yngwie's Yngwie 24/7. And he really leather pants all the time. Every time he sees him, even when he visits him, when he goes to his house, he's dressed like that. He's just.
Imagine what his
he's-
underpants are like, though. Jesus. Leather pants.
Oh,
all the time?
they got Ferrari racing stripes. I mean, skid marks. But, so it's I think, and I think for anybody, like, it's still, I don't think you become jaded. I mean, who's been, during quarantine, even on, what's his name? Neil Sedaka has been doing, like, some live stuff, and he was so happy just playing, and that guy's written every single great song ever. And he's
Right.
sitting there at his piano with his crazy parrot walking around and singing.
He's still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rod Stewart was doing a lot of live too.
Did
Yeah.
he? Did he do a few? I didn't see any of those. I got to go
And
find them.
who did Gary share? Tommy Shaw.
Tommy Shaw.
Tommy,
that
fuck
guy.
him.
That was
I think
good.
Fuck
he
that
gets a
guy.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Today he's a
Yeah.
definite, and he was singing like nobody's
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
He's
Florence.
pushing fucking 70, and he still looks like he's fucking
He
20
looks
years
great.
younger than
He's
me.
playing. His voice is full
Wow.
on. Like,
Yeah.
fuck him.
Oh,
yeah.
Totally fucked.
So
Tommy
Jerry,
Shaw.
fuck Steve Vai. Fuck Tommy Shaw.
Well,
Yeah.
for the record, that's why I don't practice 20 hours a day, because I don't want to be jaded.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to so, just like right around when I'm practicing, right around the 5th hour, I'm like, all right, I got to take it easy now. I don't want to get jaded now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to still be excited about
That's
music.
right. You know what? That's good enough.
That's right. I don't want to go too far. I might mess myself up.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody relax.
Wow. All right. Well,
yeah.
I want to say thanks so much to you guys.
Oh, this
Oh,
was fun.
so-
This was definitely fun.
So fun.
Give me
Yeah, this was great.
Yeah, give me the websites for both bands.
Okay, it's panictheband.com
Right.
and bestshotbenatar.com.
.com. Right. And you guys are obviously available on Facebook and.
Yep, available on Facebook,
Instagram and
Instagram,
Twitter
and
and all that.
both of it. Yeah.
Instagram.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And
Cool.
for us, I did notice that it seems that we're having a problem on YouTube. So if you're
Yeah.
trying to watch this on YouTube, this will be uploaded. I
Yep.
always
Yeah, it'll
say
be fixed.
uploaded later. And I don't know. We've been having we seem to always have a problem with YouTube. So I'm glad we started doing the Facebook thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we do have merch.
Wow.
Back in the back there, you can
Oh,
see
nice.
there's a T-shirt. Actually, I'll bring it up.
You know what?
should
If anybody sees anything, like if they look through it and they want to buy it from me, I'm perfectly willing to sell
Jerry,
it.
put your stuff up that you want to sell right now.
You know what? I have. You know what? I have
Cool,
tiny. I have tiny dolls of me. If you guys would like one of those, I can sell these to you.
Joey, why don't you get some masks?
Yeah, we'd actually Grimjack talked.
Wow,
about
that was
doing
mean. What are you?
No,
were
no,
that
it's
ugly?
No, some fabric masks with your logos.
Yeah, actually, we thought Grimjack had actually talked about that. So,
Right. No, but for this show, I think
for
people
the
would
show,
do it.
yeah,
I
I don't
think
know.
we do it.
I think we've sold one shirt, and I think I bought two, so we only got money for one. So I think
Ed
they're fucking
Shin
me.
said to say "F you, Joey."
Yeah, F you, F Shin. I love Ed. Ed is such a great guy for the.
No, we
for-
got to
for
give Ed a shout
all the
out
bands.
because
I mean,
he helps everybody out. He shares everybody's
does.
stuff. He's everywhere.
Yep.
So
does.
we got to thank you, Ed Shin.
thank you,
Yeah.
Ed Shin.
And thanks
And,
everybody for watching.
When
too.
you go to
Yeah.
YouTube,
Subscribe.
remember click like, subscribe, do all that.
Bell,
On
the belly
Facebook, you gotta follow us, or else you won't see these.
Oh, that's right.
this
Yeah, now I just
notification
click
comes up.
follow. Yep.
So, and when everybody's wondering, well, how come we can't see the show? It's because you didn't fucking subscribe. You didn't look at it. You gotta
Come
do
on,
it,
Ed.
and then you'll know where to
Come
go.
on, Ed.
Okay. Thanks so much. By the way, also November Rain tribute. We are still together. We haven't
Yeah.
played in forever, but if you want a good GNR thing, we'll do it. Although I think Brian
Definitely.
cut his hair. I saw that.
Oh, he
see that?
did?
Brian cut his hair. Yeah.
Brian, man, we need the axle.
Yeah, I
He
know,
cut his
right?
hair?
Yeah. Did you see
Brian
that?
cut his hair?
I saw it the other day. I mean,
Oh,
looks like
wow.
Steve.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, if anybody's looking for a GNR tribute, Benatar tribute / Grim Jack tribute,
Yeah.
Just if you just want to
Aerosmith,
hang out
yeah.
with, if you
And
just want to
Black
hang out with
Rose.
us,
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
do a whole tour,
yeah,
Yeah.
and
hang
we'll
in your
just
backyard.
interchange in parts,
right?
And when
Yeah.
Panic's on, I'll always step on stage anyway.
That's
so.
it. Come on, go on the bar.
Always
We'll
do.
make shit.
Right,
bar.
that's really what he means. He'll just be on the bar.
I
Yeah.
know. Call Ed Shin. We'll buy them food. It's all good.
Exactly. And every
love
once in a
you,
while,
Ed.
we seem to get together and do those that benefit Contractors for Kids. We were doing that for a
Yes,
couple of years.
I
so.
know.
And everybody
Yeah,
gets
that
in.
would've been great.
That just went to shit.
They
this
should
year.
do something outside for it, somewhere. We could
Yeah,
pull it
well,
off
they were usually
outside.
doing it in May, and then it was moved to
Then
July.
it was July, right?
And then
Kibosh,
July,
yeah.
July is rough. I don't know
I
what we're
know.
gonna do now.
I know.
I got to talk to Heather and see what her plan is.
Maybe something in the fall outside, big
Yeah.
field.
We got to play somewhere, man.
Right?
Every gig I've had has been canceled. At least you got something going on.
I know.
So, all right. So we're gonna sign off. Thanks,
All right.
guys, so much for coming.
Thank
on
you guys.
and-
It was
and-
so
yeah,
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Laughed
A lot of fun.
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
A lot of fun.
We'll see you
Thanks,
soon.
guys.
See
Okay.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye, kids.